Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you can see me. I'm sure you could hear me, but this is Noh-Way. This is Noh-Way Hotel. This is where I sleep. And anyway, I'm starting off on kind of closing out the fact that I was in Liberia, met my family. I haven't come back yet to do the gold dredging. So one of the things that was very important was voting day. So voting day is where, like here, it's a democracy. You vote, everybody goes out, votes for who they want. Cayenne Doe, I have an article from Newsweek that says he was this age when he took over, and now he's trying to run for president because he did a coup, and that's how he got in power. Basically, he's too young. He has to be at least 35, and he's 34 from this math. And he's saying, I'm 35, I'm 35. Okay, well, we get documentation that says you're not, it doesn't matter, but he's doing this. What he's also doing is closing down all the newspapers that are against him. My favorite was Footprint, and it was something that, you know, I read on a regular basis. You really want to kind of know what's going on where you are. He actually jailed the people that were trying to run against him. I know this sounds familiar, but in fact, he can do it. He's in charge. He's still a well, technically, he's a military government, but the U.S. is giving him money, saying, if you're a democracy, we'll give you money. So when it came time to do voting again, they said, well, I'm not really ready to do that. And I said, well, you know what? We're not going to give you any money. Okay, actually, I'm ready. I'm ready right now. Okay, now they didn't bring up that he's still too young as far as what the rules were, and that's fine. So it goes forward, but voting day, so I'm being told by Al, the people above me, this is probably going to be a bloodbath. You do not go out of the house, you stay home. And of course they're telling me as an employee that if I get shot and killed, then they don't have me to continue to do whatever I'm doing. Couldn't help myself. Early in the morning, I get on my motorcycle, I'd ride out there. I thought everybody would be so afraid. That's kind of the feeling I had. There was lines at least a mile long. Everybody had dressed up in all their most fancy African garb. I mean, it was just the most wonderful thing in the world. And they voted. So even though they were fearful and all this, they did it anyway. And, you know, stories came out. We've actually heard in this country, so I can't say, you know, third world country, this is what's going on. Oh no, they were burning ballots and all this. Who knows? I mean, I didn't see that going on. But Doe did win, and he became the next president. So in that sense, I still knew that everything was telling me he wins or not, they're going to kill him. So, okay, so that's just the people that I know, and that's how they're telling me the story. I got to get up here and see what I'm looking at here. Same thing with the notes. Hey, smaller page now because I try to do it a little better. It turns out, so he won, nobody got hurt, and we go on with our democracy. But as I go out to the beach from my house. I live right on the beach. The beach is right there on 15th Street. And Susan comes to visit, we go out on the beach, and it's nighttime, we're sitting there. The soldier comes up and tries to grab me by the neck. You know, no warning, no nothing. Well, I don't know who this is, but I threw him on his back and put my hand up, and I said, and he goes, I'm a soldier. You're under arrest. I go, I don't think I'm under arrest. I'm looking at you right now, and you're on the ground, and what do you arrest me for? You're not supposed to be out at night. I said, I never heard that before. There's no rules. Well, you're going to go to jail. And not only that, I'm going to go get the Army to come in. And he had a gun, actually. But he said, I'm going to come get the Army and to arrest you. I said, you know what? I picked him up off the ground. I walked him across the beach and threw him up against the wall and said, you better come back with an Army, because I know who you are, and I'll be looking for you every day after this. Oh, you're in big trouble. So he runs off. And I, okay, great. I really think that was not the right thing to do. I'm really in a place where he could have come back with an Army, and I'm not going to fight an Army. I don't mind fighting this person, but never came back. But that was just an instant where what you got to remember is this is not, anything can happen anytime, and you really want to be protecting yourself as best as possible. And so always saying, well, I'm right, so I'm gonna throw you up against the wall. That's not really right. That's just me showing that I'm really upset you're doing this. Anyway, so I had a person, so I bought some clothes to come to Africa, right? I'm just giving you kind of a feeling for what it's like living there. And somebody came into my room where I live and they stole my clothes. Well, the clothes I was buying, they're from the U.S. They don't have them here, so it kind of, and so I had a red striped shirt, certain shirt that I liked, and okay, so that's gone. 2 days later, I'm out on the street and I see somebody, because I work in the city. I go to all these different slot machine tech places, right? Guy's wearing my shirt. Well, hey, come here. What do you want? I said, hey, you're wearing my shirt. I'm not wearing your shirt. I said, you know what? You're wearing my shirt. I yelled to a cop to come over. And I grab him. I go, this guy stole my shirt. He goes, I bought it from somebody. I said, okay, I don't know. That's my shirt. They took him again. They put him in a cage about the size of where I am right now. It was except the wire. He can't get out. I can get out, hopefully. I said, oh my God, I didn't want you to do that to this. This is like, what's he going to do? Well, he's going to stay here until he goes to court. Who's feeding him? Nobody's feeding him. You got to feed him if he wants to stay here. I said, I don't want him to be there. Oh, if you don't want him to be here, you want us to let him go and drop the car, then pay us. So that's the whole story about anything that goes on in some places. So I said, okay, so here's some money. How much? No, a little bit more. Okay, that's enough. Oh, great. So get out of here. Don't come back. So that shirt, I paid for it twice. Second time, it was more expensive shirt, but it was kind of a nice shirt. I did get it back. That's kind of cool. Anyway, I recognized that, I should have recognized, because earlier in me being there, I'm walking the streets. I have a belt with all my radios and stuff on it. They know who I am, I'm a bingo man. And all of a sudden somebody starts yelling, rogue. I look over and they see some guy and they're chasing him. They chase him and I go, it's right in front of me. And they put him on the ground. Everybody starts kicking him, calling him a rogue. Well, I don't think that's right. Well, it's not right, but I don't think it's right. And I said, hey, get out of here, stop it. And then they kind of look at me like, who are you? So I'm the guy that's going to stand right here because you're going to have to hit me next. No. I said, call the police right now. You're not kicking this person. If he's done something wrong, you take him and you take him to jail. He'll let, give him some justice, right? So they call the cops. The cops show up. What's going on here? Everybody goes, that's a rogue right there. I go, sir, I was watching this. I don't know what the person did. He goes, they're saying he's a rogue. I said, I don't have any idea what they literally started kicking this person, as far as I could tell, to death. These are the cops. All they had to do is hear somebody say he was a rogue. You're a rogue. And so I tried to intervene. I tried to break it up. They kept pushing me aside and just kicking this person. They finally stopped. He didn't die, as far as I can tell. I don't think I did. Maybe I stopped him from dying, but yeah, you got to be careful when you try to help someone, or anybody. So, another one of my stories is I'm coming back from a night of collecting money and doing my stuff, and I hear a dog whimpering. I look over, and the dog's been hit by a car or something. I go, oh, geez. Let me pull over, and I see the dog's injured. He's in the street. I pick the dog up, and I pull him over to the side of the street, and somebody yells out the window, "You just killed that dog." I go, no, I'm just moving the dog, right? Within minutes, like the rogue story, everybody gathers around. You're a killer. You killed that dog. I go, oh my God. So now I know what it's like. It's not, I mean, I'm doing, I think something right. Unbelievably, somebody from another window that they respected, I guess. I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere, but they're up in the second story. This person yells out, I watched the whole thing. That man just saved that dog's life. They all looked at me and said, huh. Well, we can't kick you to death, I guess. That wouldn't be right. No, I don't think so either. So they took the dog to wherever they take him to get him some help, and thank you for helping us. And they went off. But it was just within a split second. If that person hadn't seen that, that was a mob. That mob was going to take justice, and that's why we try to have laws and say, you don't take it into your own hands. You let it go through the system if you can. And of course, everybody's going, yeah, the system doesn't work. It works better than this, I'll tell you right now. It's not perfect, but it certainly works better than this. Voting, person stay. So Fredika. So I just sent Fredika a picture of her great uncle. Her great grandfather was Fred McGuy. When Fredika was 6 months, was 6 months before Fredika was born, Florence, her grandmother, one of Fred McGuy's daughters, said, you know what? I just had this dream. She told Susan, I just had this dream. Fred was dead. He was older, he died, whatever. I don't know the whole story, but he's telling me he's coming back. He's coming back to see me. Okay. So Fredika is born, what, 3 months later? Florence comes in, looks at Fredika and goes, hi, honey. Fredika looks at Florence and to this date, Fredika does this. She kind of closes one eye, not like she's winking, but it's some sort of a natural occurring thing that she just does this thing with her eye. Well, guess what? So did Fred. Fred did the exact same thing, and immediately Florence said, Papa, you're back here. So that's Fredika's kind of history, is they named her Fredika after Fred. And so pretty cool that we don't know enough to say that, in fact, Fredika had the exact same similarities with Fred, and yeah, anyway, so that's kind of cool. So I went out, and so a lot of what I'm trying to do is lay a foundation for. I'm not a gambler, I'm not a technician or whatever. I had to do these things, but I go out again, and I'm looking for adventure, and I get on the beach road. I'm going out of town. It's not a town. I mean, I'm going. Pictures of these palm trees. It looks like I'm in paradise. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And there's no roads. I'm just going along the beach. The waves are coming in. And I get to a certain point. I look over, and I got a picture of this tree. So here's the canopy, and here's a tree. One tree, 30 feet taller than anything else in there. I go, oh my God. Well, that's crazy. I mean, where's that? Now, I'm a long ways from Monrovia. I'm out doing the same kind of jungle stuff I do, but I'm gonna go check that out. So I'm on my motorcycle. I pull over. I kind of go, how do you even get into the jungle? I mean, there's no real openings. I go over here a little bit. I go over. Oh, I can kind of get by here and get by here, and I follow this little bit of water coming out, and I follow it. And finally, you can't go any farther on a motorcycle. So I got a picture of my motorcycle being dead-ended in this green dead end.